Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the financial world. And let me tell you, this latest report from Better Home and Finance Holding Company might just have us living in a bit of a dream, or maybe dodging a financial hangover, depending on how you look at it. We all know that change is constant, especially in the world of business, and today we are looking at a fairly significant shift in leadership for Better Home and Finance Holding Company, or as they usually go by, BTRAT. This report, filed on the 17th of December 2025, mainly talks about a key appointment and some updates on their money-raising efforts. Stick around because we're going to break down what this all means for the company and its investors. So, the big news here is that they've brought on a new Chief Financial Officer, or CFO, named Lovan Advani. He is 49 years old and will officially start calling the financial shots for the company on the 2nd of February 2026. This means he is not just the CFO, but he'll also be the main person in charge of the company's finances and accounting. Now, Mr. Advani isn't new to the corporate scene. He comes from Zeta Global Holdings Corporation, a company focused on marketing technology, where he held a senior finance role for quite some time. Before that, he was at LivePerson, which deals with artificial intelligence. And he also had stints at other companies like Inovalon Holdings Incorporated and even big names like Aetna and IBM Corporation. He holds a solid educational background with an engineering degree and an MBA from the University of Chicago's Booth School of Business. This kind of experience suggests they're looking for someone who really knows their way around the numbers. Now, let's talk about the deal. Mr. Advani is getting a pretty nice package. His base salary will be $450,000 a year, and he is eligible for a bonus that could be as much as his entire salary, so that is a potential $450,000 bonus. On top of that, he is getting a bunch of stock grants. He'll receive 110,000 restricted stock units, or RSs. These are like promises of stock that vest, meaning become fully yours, over a year. He'll also get 50,000 performance-based stock units, or SUS tied to the company's stock price shooting up, and another 50,000 SUS linked to the company hitting certain revenue targets. The performance goals for these SUS need to be met between the 1st of October 2025 and the 31st of December 2030. A portion of these SUS also have a time-based vesting schedule alongside the performance targets. It sounds like they really want to align his success with the company's success, especially in terms of stock performance and revenue growth, which is a common practice to motivate top executives. These stock awards will also have accelerated vesting in certain situations, like if he is let go without a good reason following a change in control of the company. The agreement also outlines what happens if things don't work out. If the company terminates his employment without cause, or if he leaves for a good reason, he'll get severance. If this happens within the first year, he'll get 6 months of his salary plus a prorated bonus. If it is after the first year, it is 3 months of salary and a prorated bonus. Also, any earned SUS and RSs will vest on a pro rata basis in these termination scenarios. This is pretty standard stuff to provide some security for the executive. He has also signed agreements covering confidentiality, invention assignments, and arbitration. These include typical non-compete and customer solicitation clauses for a year after he leaves, and non-disparagement clauses that apply both during and after his employment. He'll also be part of their executive change in control severance plan, which is a standard arrangement. Importantly, there are no special side deals or family relationships between Mr. Advani and other company executives that need to be disclosed, and no transactions that would require specific reporting under the rules. This suggests the appointment is purely based on his professional qualifications. Now, let's shift gears to how the company is managing its finances and raising money. They've been using something called an at-the-market or ATM equity offering program. Basically, this is a way for them to sell their shares directly into the market over time, up to a total of $75 million. They started this program back on the 26th of September 2025. As of the 13th of November 2025, they had already sold about $17.7 million worth of their Class A common stock. Fast forward to the 19th of December 2025, and they've now sold over $35 million in total shares through this ATM program. This means they're actively raising capital through selling stock. The company states that they plan to raise money only as needed to support their business plan, and they are looking for ways to reduce their reliance on this ATM program to minimize dilution, which is when your ownership stake gets smaller as more shares are issued. They are in talks with their existing lenders and looking for new financing partners to fund their loan production at higher rates. They've received several proposals that, if they go through, could mean they need less capital to expand their warehouse facilities. However, These discussions are still subject to negotiation, and there is no guarantee they'll all pan out. Now, as with most of these reports, there is a section on forward-looking statements. This is essentially a disclaimer that tells you that anything in the report that isn't about past events is just an educated guess about the future. They list out a bunch of potential risks and uncertainties that could make the actual results different from what they're predicting. These include things like how interest rates affect their business, their ability to grow their customer base, general economic conditions, and potential regulatory changes. They also mention risks related to their CEO's involvement in litigation and negative media coverage, as well as challenges in maintaining an experienced executive team and improving company morale. They also highlight the volatility of their stock price and the possibility of future stock sales, which can depress prices. They strongly advise you not to put too much faith in these predictions and that they aren't obligated to update them if things change. Finally, we have the signature section, which is basically the official sign-off from the company's representatives. Paula Tuffin, the General Counsel, Chief Compliance Officer, and Corporate Secretary, signed off on this report on the 22nd of December 2025. This is the formal confirmation that the company is submitting this information to the SEC. Alright, let's dive into the real meat of what this all means. The appointment of a new CFO with a strong background is generally a positive sign. It suggests the company is taking its financial management seriously and wants someone experienced to steer the ship, especially given the company's active capital raising. The compensation package, particularly the stock grants tied to performance, shows they are trying to incentivize growth and a rising stock price, which is a good strategy if they can deliver. However, the heavy reliance on the ATM program and their explicit mention of wanting to reduce it signals a potential need for cash that they might be finding difficult to secure through more traditional debt financing. The fact they are actively negotiating for better advance rates on warehouse facilities and receiving proposals could mean they are seeking more efficient ways to fund their operations. But it is all still up in the air. The laundry list of risks in the forward-looking statement section is quite extensive, covering everything from market conditions to legal challenges and negative media. This indicates that Better Home and Finance Holding Company operates in a complex and potentially volatile environment. The mention of the CEO's litigation and negative media coverage is particularly noteworthy. This can create significant headwinds for a company affecting employee morale, customer trust, and investor confidence. Looking at the overall picture, Better Home and Finance Holding Company seems to be in a transitional phase. They are bringing in new financial leadership, actively managing their capital needs, and navigating a challenging business and public perception landscape. The strategy to raise capital only as needed and explore alternative financing is sound, but the execution will be key. Investors should watch closely how these financing discussions progress and whether the new CFO can help stabilize and grow the company's financial health amidst these external pressures. The company's direction seems to be focused on growth, but it comes with notable risks that are clearly laid out. That is our deep dive into this latest filing from Better Home and Finance Holding Company. What are your thoughts on the new CFO appointment and their capital strategy? Let us know in the comments below if you found this breakdown helpful. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more corporate insights, and don't forget to join our Discord community, linked in the description for more discussions and analysis. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.